every man with whom was found blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine linen, and goat's hair, and red skins of rams, and badger skins brought them.
What was verse is that?
Verse 23.
All right, go ahead.
It says, and red skins of rams and badger skins brought them. Every one that did offer an offering of silver and brass brought the Lord's offering, and every man with whom was found shittim wood for any work of the service brought it. And all the women that were, and all the women that were wise-hearted did spin with their hands, and brought that which they had spun, both of blue and of purple and of scarlet.
By the way, scarlet is red. All right, because they made garments and coats from dyed red skins of animals. All right, and when they made tents, they also used dyed skin animals. All right, go ahead.
Both of blue and of purple and of scarlet and of fine linen. And all the women whose heart stirred them up in wisdom spun goat's hair. And the rulers brought onyx stones and stones to be set for the ephod and for the breastplate, and spice and oil for the light, and for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense. The children of Israel brought a willing offering unto the Lord, every man and woman whose heart made them willing to bring for all manner of work which the Lord had commanded to be made by the hand of Moses.
Right.
And Moses said unto the children of Israel, see, the Lord hath called by name Bezaleel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. And he hath filled him with the Spirit of the Most High in wisdom and understanding and in knowledge and in all manner of workmanship, and to devise curious works, to work in gold and in silver and in brass, and in the cutting of stones, to set them, and in carvings of wood, to make any manner of cunning work. And he hath put in his heart that he may teach both he and Aholiab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan. Them hath he filled with wisdom of heart, to work all manner of work of the engraver, and of the cunning workman, and of the embroider, in blue and in purple and in scarlet, and in fine linen, and in the weavers, even in the weaver, even of them that do any work, and of those that devise cunning work.
Now, jump to the 10th verse of that same chapter. Now, what is that talking about? There were certain men that the Most High put the Spirit on to make bracelets and jewelry of fine work of gold and different stones. They were men that the Most High set up that built the ark. All right, the Most High put a spirit on man to build that ark, to build the tabernacle, to set up them tents. All right, go ahead.
Exodus 35:10. And every wise-hearted among you shall come and make all that the Lord hath commanded. And the tabernacle...
See, let's understand that they left out of Egypt, so the Most High had to set up a tabernacle. The Most High had to use the nation of Israel to make the Ark of the Covenant. The Most High had to set up a man to put the garment of Aaron, the high priest, together. Because remember, he had the breastplate with the different stones. He had to have the Most High had to put the Spirit on this man to make that happen. Go ahead.
The tabernacle, his tent, and his covering, his taches, and his boards, his bars, his pillars, and his sockets, the ark, and the staves thereof, with the mercy seat, and the veil of the covering, the table, and his staves, and all his vessels, and his shewbread, the candlesticks also for the light, and his furniture, and his lamps, with the oil for the light.
So they had men that made the Ark of the Covenant, all right, the tent for the Ark of the Covenant, which was the tabernacle, the staffs, the seat, and so forth and so on. Then there had to be a holy garment made for the high priest, which was Aaron and his sons. So it tells you right there that they used animal skins. Let's jump back down to the 21st verse.
Verse 21. And they came, every one whose heart stirred him up, and every one whom his spirit made willing, and they brought the Lord's offering to the work of the tabernacle of the congregation, and for all his service, and for the holy garments. And they came.
And for the holy garments. Go ahead.
And they came both men and women, as many as were willing-hearted, and brought bracelets and earrings and rings and tablets, all jewels of gold. Every man that offered an offering of gold unto the Lord, and every man with whom was found blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen and goat's hair and red skins of rams.
What does it mean by red skins? Meaning they took these rams and they dyed these rams red. Now let's jump back to the book of Exodus 25, and let's read 1 and 5 again, so we can refresh their memories. Going back to when Rebecca gave birth to her first son, they said what? The first came out red all over like a hairy garment. Why? Because they wore hairy garments that they dyed red. Right. So you had this particular garment that they were wearing at that time. That like I said, they didn't go to the store and buy clothes. They had to make make clothes. They had to catch an animal, cut the skin off the animal, and make the garment. And this particular garment covered him like an overcoat. Go ahead.
And the Lord, Exodus 25 and 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they bring me an offering of every man that giveth it willingly with his heart. You shall take my offering. And this is the offering which you shall take of them: gold and silver and brass, and blue and purple and scarlet, and fine linen and goat's hair, and ram skins dyed red.
For what? For garments. So that's why Isaac and Rebekah said the first came out red all over. Like he wasn't hairy. He didn't become hairy until he became a man. Let's go back to Genesis. Genesis 25 and 25. And I'd like the brother to get me photos 1 to 16. All right? But we're not going to go to it right yet. Go ahead.
Genesis 25:25.
They say a picture speaks 1,000 words, so we got a lot of pictures here. Go ahead.
And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau.
Yeah, they didn't call his name Edom. They called his name Esau. And by the way, if you understand Hebrew, when you go to this website and you look up Esau, you know what they're going to tell you? They're going to tell you that the word Esau means hairy. It doesn't mean hairy. The word hairy is the Hebrew word sha'ir. Sha'ir. You have the word sha'ir and you have the word aishah, two different words. How can you take the word sha'ir and aishah and they both mean hairy? That's a damn lie. See, even Esau gets lazy. The word sha'ir means hairy. They didn't call him sha'ir. They call him aishah. Now that's from the Hebrew word aishash, which means wasted. Now the wa at the end makes it he, because when you read in the scriptures, I think if you go to that same passage in the Hebrew, but I'm not going to go into the Hebrew. I'm not going to waste my time into the Hebrew. We can probably do it another time. But it says, they said they call his name, And the word his name in the Hebrew